This is not an Apple Watch. This is a DT Ultra 3 Pro. It is a, you can say, a Apple Watch replica. I ordered it from AliExpress very recently. It costs nothing compared to an Apple Watch. And of course, I'm not going to A, pretend to be an Apple Watch expert, and B, to pretend that this is exactly like one-to-one the same quality of a product. However, DT Ultra 3 Pro, for a good reason, is considered to be probably the best Apple Watch replica. We're not talking functionality purely, we're talking functionality plus the looks. So there are some other watches on Android platform that are all like they are better than this, okay? But at the same time, if you compare what this offers you as well as the looks, this is the closest thing there is. And I'll tell you today all that I know about it from the very short review of the other kind of AI slop channels that I had to listen to so that you don't have to. This watch at the moment of recording of this video in October 2025 on AliExpress costs about 60 Australian dollars, not American, Australian dollars. With delivery to Sydney, Australia, it's very, very, very cheap. But we live, spoiler alert, in the world where there are some cheap things, of course, on some Temu, whatever, even AliExpress, but there are some things that are just as good or almost as good. So this watch has alloy, so metal, some kind of metal casing. It is not plastic. It is weighty in your hand. It has weight to it. It feels solid. You know, only time will tell how much it, like how long it will endure all the shaking and exercising and everything. Of course, we wouldn't know. But at the same time, it feels solid. I can attest to that. I'm like, you know, it's been on my hand for quite some time now. It comes in a box with a charger, of course. It comes with a tiny manual, which you kind of don't need really, especially after watching a video like this one, and with a strap. Strap is black, even though the watch on AliExpress is advertised with an orange strap. I made one mistake that straight away helped for you. You don't need to make that mistake. I have ordered an additional strap that is a black strap, pretty much identical to this, and it's right now somewhere there in the mail because I thought that by default this thing will come with a fancy orange strap. Orange is cool. I like orange. Orange is new black, one could say, but at the same time, not everyone wants to go around with a watch that is black by itself and it's kind of attracts attention by being orange. Like I didn't want to. I thought I always wanted black, and this black comes in a box for free. You don't need to order a strap, okay? Plasticky rubberized material. It has some give to it. It's not super elastic, but it has give to it, so it's rather pleasant. It's ribbed, obviously. You can see that it's an uneven surface, so I would dare say it gives your arm a chance to sweat and a chance for the watch to breathe, so to speak, a little bit. I didn't do scientific measurements of exactly how accurate blood pressure measurement is, not blood pressure, blood oxygen and the pulse, the heartbeat, but it seems about right. It seems about right, and here I'm going to infer that I watched some other reviews where people did do that, and it confirms that the watch is pretty accurate. What else does it have? Well, it has gestures. It has support, obviously, of different gestures. The swipe of the double tap wakes up the watch. Double tap wakes up the screen. Covering the watch with your hand turns the screen off. Also, I'm not sure if all watch faces or this particular one that we'll talk about in a bit more detail in a second support this feature, but a single tap on the screen turns the theme, so the face of the watch, into nighttime mode. So if right now, for example, the watch is in daytime mode with all the colors, then if I tap on it a little bit, see how it turns red? So that is the theme. The theme is changing to nighttime so that it is not too oppressive to your eyes. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if Apple Watch does it. This thing does it. It's very, very cool. Buttons. There is a left-hand side button, which is unfortunately cannot be changed, the mapping of that button to some other function. I would have loved to see that. DT Ultra 3 Pro production company. If we could remap this button to like a favorite app, for example, or something like that. But here, unfortunately, single press turns it into an exercise mode. So there is like a built-in sort of exercise mode of sorts, which has some kind of walking, running, some other things. Obviously the modes are scrollable. Scroll is smooth, nothing is janky. It doesn't feel janky at all anywhere in the menus, at least so far. Very, very, very impressed with just general performance. It doesn't feel clunky, it doesn't feel cheap. That's the main insight for you. On the other side, there is a rotary button. It's pressable and it's rotationary. Rotationary turns, swipes through the menus as if you're swiping on the screen. And this button invokes the system menu, the one that allows pairing of the wireless headset, turn on the alarm, that kind of stuff. Let's have a look at what exactly it has. It has information, it has QR code to download the app, it has control of vibration, it has information about how charged this watch is right now. Mine is 91%, and other things. The main kind of button, the bread and butter of this, is this rotary button, of course. So rotary button, when you press on it, when you see the watch, if you press on it when the watch is dark, it just wakes it up. When you press on it once, it gives you the apps. The apps can be scrolled through, as you can see here. Yeah. And I think this is where most of your questions are going to be. That's where most of my questions were. Couple of things straight up, and probably the main things you need to know. There are pre-installed apps, whole bunch of them. Some of them are China-orientated apps, and that is, I'm gonna say to you, that is applications such as WeChat, yeah. And then there is another application, QQ. I don't even know what freaking QQ is. WeChat, I know what WeChat is, but I don't use it. There is Facebook, there is Twitter, so they obviously rolled in this software while Twitter was still Twitter and not X. I love you guys for that, like nice legacy acknowledgement, yeah. Instagram, there is a whole bunch of apps, okay? Some of them you don't need, so like say that QQ or WeChat or like some other stuff. I did not find a way to remove the apps. So I think that maybe if you do a full factory reset, there should be a way, which I haven't found yet and didn't need to. But first answer is you can't remove the apps to the best of my ability. I'm happy to be corrected if you talk to me in the comments below. However, yes, you can install other apps. Don't panic. There is an application called App Store, except it's not a Google App Store. It's their store, whatever that store is. You go into that store, and to be honest with you, I'm a bit disappointed with the number of apps. I'm impressed with the number of installed apps, but I'm disappointed with the number of apps to choose from. Do you know what I'm saying? I would have rather had less installed. And then you can choose to download, right? And then your watch is not bloated with stuff like WeChat that I don't need, right? So main thing for me was to make sure WhatsApp can be installed. WhatsApp can be installed. You're installing WhatsApp, you're updating App Store itself as well. And WhatsApp, essentially, with the help of the application that needs to be installed on the phone that I'm filming this right now on, that phone, so that the phone app, you scan the QR code, or you go to the App Store, you find the app, you download the app, you pair it, you pair the watch with your phone via Bluetooth, as you normally would imagine, and then that app, I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit, but it's all interconnected. That app is going to be a bit of a expanded. You can control the watch from here. You can download the apps through the App Store application that's installed on the watch. However, you will use the app that is on the phone to control things such as permissions. Is it allowed to send notifications to the watch? Is it allowed pop-ups? Is it allowed other kind of stuff? So there is a whole bunch of stuff which is not bad, I would say, because installation of the app takes you through certain permissions and certain things that you need to install. But at the same time, it's riddled with ads. That app, I freaking hate it. Of course, it's a cheap watch. I get it. They have to make the money tiny bit by tiny bit back a little bit. I get it. But considering how much you've given within this price, considering how professional it is otherwise, I think those ads in that app, in the phone app, just are garbage, and they are basically cheapening the whole experience. So that is something that's very, very different from Apple Watch, isn't it? Apple Watch is an ecosystem plug and play. You plug it in, you know it's going to be, it's going to have some bloatware that you also may not need, but certainly you can install and uninstall apps, you can do a lot of things. Here it looks like it's a one-way street. You can only install apps and you can control the watch from the phone app. But these controls, look, I'm going to be using it a lot more, and if there is interest, I'm going to do a long-term review of this watch. Of course, there is a 500 million of them on YouTube, but maybe you want another one. If you like this one for any reason, give me a like if you haven't already. But I basically, I think that the app is unnecessarily complex, too many ads, but it does the job. It allows you to download, for example, new faces that I promised to talk to you about. If you long press on the screen of the watch, it enters the face selection mode. So you can swipe and select which face of the watch you would like. And in the app on the phone, you're able to go to the store and choose some faces. Some you need to pay for, some are free. I picked the one that I liked and it happens to be free. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I have not tried yet connecting any peripherals such as the Bluetooth headset to the watch. It apparently has storage. It apparently you can put music files on it if you're old school like me with MP3 files or whatever for offline situations. It has maps. Yes, it has maps, and it says Google Maps. The application launches but requires extensive testing, which I haven't done yet. It struggled to locate the positioning even after it's paired with the phone. So the Google Maps didn't find where I am in the world, automatically kind of centering on my position. But it takes the address. You can put in the address in an awkward way. Apparently there is a microphone, so you could speak the address, technically speaking, but it didn't work for me once again. Maybe it was some setting, maybe it was some stuff. It was one of the first things I tried, and it, in all fairness, and that's the honesty for honesty, it didn't work. However, once the application was put on the phone, once the pairing finished, once all permissions were given to the watch, I do get WhatsApp notifications, swiping from the top, kind of like you would do on the Android phone, at least on Xiaomi phones, gives you the notification previews. That's kind of all I need. I need to know, do I have notifications? And I needed to track my steps. I needed to track some other things and just look cool on my arm. Anyway, this video is already getting too long, but it's very, very hard to give you a casual, non-AI spoken, succinct review without making it a bit bloated. So I apologize for that. To the handful of you who watched through the whole video, it's almost unlikely that anyone sits through a 13-minute video or so watching this. I do appreciate you if you're one of those few people. Please let me know if you want to know more about this watch. I am quite a fan. It's not, like quite a fan, early fan. I think it looks good. I think it is cheap enough to be okay. It's nowhere near being an Apple Watch, let's be honest, but it tries to. It certainly gives it a definite honest try. I can't deny that fact. Quality-wise, great. Works nice, wakes up with a turn of a wrist. It does what I wanted to do so far. But long-term review might be coming, especially if you're interested, but I'm not a mind reader, so do please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me today. I'm Dmitry, Auto Gear Reviews. Out until next week or in a couple of weeks. We're going to talk about something else, automotive gear related. I have some queued up for you, some new dash cameras, some new other stuff. So stay tuned. Goodbye for now.